Hey everybody, welcome to the Crypto Meme Review. Good to have you all here. Hey John, it was good to see you, man. Well, there's a lot to go over. Well, there's not a lot. It's going to be, I'll try to keep it quick. But I'm going to do 2 giveaways just to let you guys know. This the next show, I'll probably do some more. We have a sponsor for today's show. Today's Crypto Meme Review is brought to you by R Staking. Let me show you that. I actually did a review on them. Where is it? Should be right before this one. So you can go check that out. They're a DeFi staking platform that pays out in stablecoins, which you can choose. There is a link in the description to head over there. A really cool thing is that if you go sign up, there's no KYC or anything like that. No limits on withdrawals, any of that stuff. You can, it's a multi-chain. They use oracles. You can put, stake tons of different tokens and coins. And like I said, you can choose to get paid in TUSD, Tron, ERC20, Binance Smart Chain, or BUSD. But when you sign up, you just need to have an email. You don't have to, like I said, do any KYC. They give you some of their token, which is also going to have a big airdrop in December. But you can stake the token they give you, so they'll give you some free money, and then you can stake it with no risk or anything and start earning, which is pretty cool. So use the link below, and you can go and get that started. I am going to try to have them give me some of their token to start giving away on next week's show. So that is about it for the sponsor. Now let's take a look at some memes. I am sorry. I had this show all ready to go. Like, I had gotten a lot of memes from people, especially D4V3. Thank you very much. Where I had the next show all set to go. And I forgot that. So I've been like saving up my memes and getting everything ready. And I went to do this today's show, and I was like, that last one looks like I don't remember using that. And then I went, and the whole folder was ready to go. I did it, like a week and a half ago, or like 8 days ago. So anyway, my point is the next show might be pretty soon because it's already ready to roll. I also have the videos in. Let me change this so you guys can see those better. Also, the videos in this folder. So I'm gonna play one real quick. Crap. I'm not gonna play it. I'll play the videos here because I have them loaded up. The only thing is I can't talk, or I can talk. Obviously, I have a mouth, but you can't hear me when the videos are playing. But you might be able to, and like I can comment if I play them here. I'll try to play them here first, and then tell me if you can hear it. Hey, JDO is here. All right, geez, got a pretty good group of fellow. There's like so many of you here talking, and it's telling me that there's 3 people. Pretty funny, man. Pretty funny. All right. So me waiting for the deepest dip to put in my $25. I can't tell you how many, especially the last pump when Bitcoin went to like 20 or went to 60K. I had so many people who were like friends of mine who made fun of me for the funny internet money and all that, and then finally started putting money in, and then they started freaking out when it was like, oh, man, I lost 10%. But I was like, oh, I'm sorry, there dips and ups and downs, and then it would go back up, and they were like so emotional and so freaking out. And they're like, dude, I put in $60. And I'm like, I'm not freaking out. And I'm losing like buttloads. Like literally I live off of it, you know. I live off of crypto. I don't, this is, you know, I full-time crypto YouTuber and, you know, trading and buying. And that's what I do. And they're literally freaking out because they put in $50 and they're down like $2. So that was frustrating, man. So this meme hits home, man. Yes, I would appreciate that. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right. What is the next one? See, this is also from last week when we're going to have World War III. When stocks drop sharply due to the threat of nuclear war, buy the dip. If nuclear war doesn't happen, you'll profit. If it does, you won't need money. Me and my friends said this during the gingivitis pandemic, when, you know, airlines were failing and everything was trash. I think Ford was down to like $2 or $3, something. It was nuts. We're like, dude, either the world's gonna end, you know, it's all gonna crash, and they're not gonna have a monetary system, or it's gonna shoot back up. You know, that's it. Once again, this is all of us, I think. Me watching Bitcoin price 19.5, 19.99, 20,000, yeah, 19.95. Especially when you bought in at 20. All right, me going through my crypto transactions for taxes. That I think the biggest problem, which no one really talks about when it comes to the tax stuff, is that when it comes to investors and investing, the legacy whole system, you know, the whole system, they're not used to, you know, regular people. I hate saying it, but shoeshine boys and taxi cab drivers, you know, because I don't know where all the shoeshine boys are and taxi cab drivers. They're investing. You know, all those people are talking about put in $60. Those people, and there's so many transactions, so many, just for basic security. You know, you move it onto an exchange, you move it off of an exchange. Do the gas fees when ETH is high count as a loss? Does that? I mean, can you deduct that? If you're paying you should. If it's a high, you know, $50 gas fee to get all your ETH off of an exchange, then you pay it. You know, because it's not safe. Obviously, look at what's happened with everything. Does that count as a loss? Does that count as a deduction? It's so, there's so much for them to catch up with, and well, there's other memes that'll show why they can't. They say we see on clouds what we most want. What do you see, babe? I see us together forever. $100,000 Bitcoin. Oh man. Don't, you know what? Everyone said it. McAfee said it. Don't let him be a distraction, dude. You know, I think the more and more, and there's another meme about this with a wink, we really need to focus on what it was designed for. And all my, you know, people that are much smarter than me, all my friends who are geniuses, like Rhodes and Greg Lang and all them, they're always like, they make fun of anyone speculative. They talk about the number go up gang. And I always make the point that it's still important that your treasury and your money is based on number go up. So it does have a place. But I think if people do focus on it too much, and it has led to where we're at now, to the detriment of where we're at. We really do need to focus more on what it was designed for and get people back to it's cliche, but the fundamentals of freedom. Trademark, Sean. So Sean, trademark, Sean Herson. Fundamentals of freedom. I think that's really what we need to focus on. When you're at a party, nobody knows about crypto. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anymore. I gave up. I planted the seeds, and I'm not arguing with people anymore. You know, as things crash, and it has happened, as things are bad or things happen, they come back and they're like, hey, I remember you were talking about this, and now in Canada they're freezing people's bank accounts, and the government is stopping them just because of political reasons. Yeah, yeah. So if you don't argue, but plant the seed, educate, and then let it grow, man. The world will water it, and it will bear fruit, and they will come back, and they do need the education. This is more. I mean, this is old, but it's not because it's different. It's like, Doc, it ended up in the year 2015. Buy Bitcoin. I wish I could go back in time. I thought about this, and I was like, I don't care what it is. I wouldn't tell, worry about killing Hitler. It's like, if I could go back, I would do that. But honestly, first thing, I would try to save my son from passing away. That was the first thing. But second, buy Bitcoin. Tell anyone to buy Bitcoin. Tell myself to not throw away the computer that had like 10 or 12 Bitcoin on it. After I bought a shirt for like 30 Bitcoin. Yeah. So, definitely. Billy, what have you done? Bitcoin is shit. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Keep hodling. There was no price drop, and take care of your cat. There's definitely a price drop, and you really should look into it. BitBoy's been saying a lot of stuff. Cliff High's been saying a lot of stuff. I just found a new channel, and it's amazing. I don't know how this guy still has a channel. He has like more 500,000. He has like 650,000 subscribers. It's like some kind of rich guy, owns a precious metals company, something TV. But his stuff was like so like a blunt instrument talking about the truth. I don't know how his channel's still around. But Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. What is fiat backed by? Now here's the thing about taxes and regulations. Biden's crypto regulations. You can't get rid of it. There is an interesting point though that I wanted to hit on. My mind just went blank. Oh yeah, the government, the U.S. government. Let me preface that. The U.S. government has seized a lot of Bitcoin, to where they are one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world. That's a real thing. The U.S. government has all this Bitcoin, which oddly, if it was like Lambos or computers or houses, they just go for auction. You could buy it at pennies on the dollar. But this is like, and I said this years and years ago, like the first time that they actually confiscated someone's Bitcoin. That, because way back then, I don't know if you remember, we just wanted a government to acknowledge it as a currency. Because once they did, that made it a whole bunch of, it couldn't be looked at as like Beanie Babies or anything. It was like legitimized as a currency, as real. So when they wouldn't sell it as like a thing, and they treated it as money or as a currency, that was like a really, really big deal. So they're not selling it; they're holding it, and they're hodling a lot. Whoa, there's a lot I missed here in the chat. Sorry. Yeah, I was that $25 guy. Thank you. I hated trying to figuring out how to fix transactions between wallets. It was a nightmare. Is that a rose or is that I think it's a flower. Either that or it's an anchor, but I think it's a flower. Something I said was true. I should have been watching. I had the pictures up, so I can't see the chat. Sorry. I question how more regulations of crypto would have stopped FTX from happening, fraud and theft. And that's a big point. But when it comes to governments in general, we'll take a school shooting or any mass shooting, or mass killing. On the day that we had the big one that Alex Jones has been sued about, there was the same amount of children killed or more. I believe it was in China, in a school, and the guy went in there with a knife. Um, violence is violence. Crazy people and evil people are crazy evil people, and they do crazy evil things. But my point is, whenever that happens, there's always a cry for more laws and more regulation and more control. Whether it's gun control or knife control, that's a real thing in the rest of the world. People in America don't believe that. There's actually in Asia, you can't buy like kitchen knives. They're registered. They have like serial numbers on them because of knife crime. Like my friend is a super cop in Britain, in London on the Met, and he said something about knife crime, and he posted a picture on his Facebook like, we got these dangerous weapons out of the hands of criminals, and it was like 3 crappy looking knives that you would like throw away. They would be in the trash. And I laughed at first, but I was like, oh my God, they're serious. A friend of mine has a YouTube channel, and he's like, yeah, some druggies moved into the apartment building down the hall from me. I got to go back, down to the store and get another hammer. And literally, he has a hammer by his front door and a hammer by his bed. That's what they have to defend themselves. I have an Uzi, and I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine not being able to defend myself at my house and having to revert that, knowing criminals don't give a crap. If criminals got a little bit of money, they're going to have a gun. I'm getting off on a tangent, but my point is those things are always illegal. You don't need new laws. You just need to enforce them, and you need to address other problems. But there's a lot of people that are saying that Friedman was an actual agent, working for the government. There's so many conspiracies that are popping up that are not even that theoretical. To call them conspiracy theories is, I think, too loose of a term with all the things that are coming to light and all the connections that are being made. It's almost kind of obvious, but I think it is kind of backfiring because of us, because of you. So many people are educated being in crypto and knowing how the financial system works, even just the basics, to where they can see how things are run and how the scams are being run. Just knowing what the basics about crypto and how money works, the Ponzi scheme of fiat money in general, whether it's the petrodollar or whoever. You know it. You know how central banks work. You know how the printing money works. Inflation isn't real. Prices don't go up. Things don't cost more. Your money is just worth less. It just takes more of this thing to buy that thing. So I think that people are looking at what's happening, but you're not getting the usual knee-jerk, oh, please regulate us. You're getting more of, hey, we need to fix these crooked bastards and hang them, by their thumbs, maybe by other things. But when the next serious topic chat? Yeah, I just had it. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I went pretty serious on that one. Government will give the numbers they want. Less freedom by giving more control to government. Yes. And all my friends are all super positive, and especially like when Lisa and other people, they don't think so. But I think people in general think that they're normal. I know I'm not, because I've been on both sides. Especially Lisa. Lisa was raised by someone, Nana. She was I think ahead of her time. I think she was way smarter than the average person in her time. I was in the financial services industry. I was a good Republican. I was a good conservative. Wasn't even a Republican. I was a good conservative. I believed in the system, and getting into crypto really opened your eyes. And I have lots of friends who are bankers who don't know how bad stuff is. When you're part of something, you really think, oh, this is normal. This is good. But okay. Yes, I think the normies, and I think there's a huge mass. I think the masses, but I think there's more now than there has ever been of. We used to say woke people. Now we have to say awake because woke means something different. But people that are awake and they understand how things are. They understand how messed up stuff is. I am one of the few people that will be honest and say, I don't think we can fix it. I don't think we can fix it by traditional voting or niceties. Um, I'm a student of history. I've always said that everyone says you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it, and then everyone repeats it. Nobody, and I there's a quote, I forget who it's by, but it say the only thing we learn from history is that we don't learn from history. And Glenn Beck said it during his close of the election coverage. He said, we're falling down this spiral. The United States is, and it's throughout history. You could look at the Roman Empire, Greeks, all of them. All of them. There's a pattern, and we're fixing that pattern. And I'm not being homophobic or any of that stuff. I'm just being honest. The art always turns to, and we during the 80s we said with gender bending and guys wearing makeup. This is it. It wasn't. It wasn't. But there's the decadence of the masses, the sexual proclivities, all turn to a certain way, and they are in the United States, and they were in all of the empires that fell. It's a tried and true throughout history. It's what happens, and what Beck said, and I believe it's never turned around, not once. Not once our history has anything ever got to this point, and it turned around. And I've always said we never got to a point in history where, all the media was propaganda or anything like that, and it didn't turn around without violence. Violence, it didn't change without violence. But when you look at the scope of where we're at, to where those empires were, they just never turned around. They all crashed. There is one thing is different, is that America is like no other country ever made, and especially our youth, anyone under 35, I'd say now, they have no real clue of the difference that America was as a country compared to just the norm of the world. That everyone has the same voice, opportunity, all that kind of stuff. It was so revolutionary, pun intended. So we have that going for us. That could be a black swan event. And then there's crypto. And I've always said this, the biggest thing that gives me any hope is that we have crypto. That is like the pillar of what holds up and has held up the evils that have plagued mankind and ruled mankind throughout history, is the money. So we have crypto, and we have the fact that the United States, it was never invented like anything like it. So if we get back to freedom and liberty, to get there though, that's something that's I think going to be messy. But if we can do that, and with crypto, maybe we got a choice or chance. We always have a choice. So thanks, JDO, for making me get all super freaking serious. Okay. People have to go to jail. People have to go to prison. I think people have to die, honestly. I think people have to die. I think corruption in general, the crime of government corruption, should be made one of the highest crimes that there is. It should be stigmatized, like, pedos. It should be like, oh my, corruption, you're terrible. I think people that work for certain agencies, they should be ashamed. They should be ashamed to admit that they work for them. I think they should be stigmatized until this stuff is cleaned up. It's not. I think, and I think people need to go to prison. I think anyone, bankers, it's just good business if you commit a bank crime and you make $300 million and you have to pay a $50 million fine. That's good business. That's pay to play. And that's how it is. Now, if just one person and a higher up had to go to prison, that wouldn't happen. People at certain levels in the banking industry would be too scared. Oh, you lost your house. You lost your what's the word? I forget the word. Your family wealth, that legacy wealth, whatever. I know someone in the chat's going to say it, but that's the only way things are going to stop, is if those people in high places are punished. Maxwell's in prison for doing a certain crime, but she had to have done that crime. So the crime takes two people, the underage person and then the other person. There's no one of the other people on that list. No one's been arrested because they're the ones in power. So that's enough seriousness. The dang crypto meme radio. How many people know banks are no longer required to have fraction? No one. Bankers. I'm not joking. I have friends who are bankers who still think they have to have fractional reserve. And just telling people about the fractional reserve, telling people that their bank only has to have like 10% of money, they didn't believe me. My friends don't believe me. I said, so if like 20% of people in the bank go try to take their money, the bank doesn't have to have that money. It would bankrupt the bank. People didn't believe. They had to look it up. And they're like, oh my God. And now that's not even the thing anymore. We all agree to be here, Sean. Perspective. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. I can't help but notice that on Lisa's channel, crypto comes up and the Litecoin army unites. Keep your thoughts to yourself. I try to have conversations. It's difficult with some there. When it comes to Litecoin, I love Litecoin. Litecoin was one of the first, cryptos that I bought like a bunch of when I got, actually into crypto. And I think that Litecoin is doing great things. The thing with privacy, I think, is amazing. I think that Litecoin's like silver. It's literally being suppressed. But a lot of Litecoin people are just, they're maximalists. I think maximalism is an ism, like racism. I think it's akin to racism. It's one of the only things I could say that is close to it. I don't know if you know, having Elisa, but she was going like a Bitcoin day or something. And people threatened to like shoot her and kill her because her name was Litecoin Lisa. I mean, their Bitcoin maximalists are nuts. And any maximalist, they're, by definition, I think they're nuts. So it's not a state. It's a legacy wealth. I don't know. But whatever. Let's get back to the damn memes. Here we go. This is the one we got to get away from. Bitcoin investors I'm in it for the technology. This is the one. This is what we got to get back to, the fundamentals of freedom. Freedom fundamentals. Fundamentals of freedom. This is so true, especially this time. When you see other people buying the dips. You guys still have money. You guys still have cash. How long have you been trading crypto? 5 years. So you must be a millionaire. They hurt. This is, if you haven't noticed, this is annoying me about NFT projects. They're like all the same, and there's like this little, it's like a skin they put on it, and it just looks cheap to me. It's like just put out one, man, or make something different. I don't know. It just, I don't really like it. It just, I don't know. If it rubs you all the wrong way, let me know. When you get some crypto advice and finish with, but I don't know. It's your decision in case they lose big. Me trying to save Bitcoin, but there's so many other things. But the goal should always be to increase your Bitcoin. Let me know if y'all can hear this. I'll replay it. Can y'all hear that? Let me know. Oh, okay. You can hear it. Cool. All right. We'll keep doing it that way so I can talk over them. What actually getting started in crypto investing looks like, which is true. It's like when you first come in, you guys have to remember how it was. Dude, I had this ready last week, before the whole FTX thing. So it's you can really it's even more apropos than it was then. Everything seems to be against us this year, and it's really hitting hard now at the end of the year, but it's still funny. Yeah, that's when you see that pump, but you remember you bought at the top, and just if you bought all the way through, it's one of the best things about dollar cost averaging. Yeah, this one. This is what I was talking about, man. When it comes to the IRS, it's that's what they're not ready, even with all the bajillions of armed officers that our former vice president wants to put on the attack. They're not ready for all the receipts. Thanks, bud. How do you feel about a state elects a brain person for 6 years? Yeah, man. Look, before you watch me and Lisa's election night coverage, I said the three crookedest states, in my opinion, were Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. Now, I grew up north when I was a kid, and Pennsylvania the mob came from New York to Jersey. They were heavy when I was a kid. I come from an Italian family, so I could, be honest. But then the third part, they're in Chicago. A lot of them moved to Florida, but there's a ton in Philly. There's a ton in Pittsburgh. Pennsylvania is just like it's like Jersey Light or Florida Light. They're crooked in politics. They're crooked in unions. So I think, especially Fetterman. Fetterman is terrible. He was the mayor of a town and messed that town up, man. Spent tons of money, and just crime increased. I think it was like 300% or 900%. It's nuts. He's a failed politician, and then he had the stroke. And I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you're in a wheelchair, you can't be a fireman. That sucks. If you're fat and out of shape, I can't be a fireman. I'm not running upstairs carrying someone. No. Just can't. That's the truth. You can't be in combat. I mean, there's certain and that's, I think, I think maybe the main goal of all the feeling things and the not offending people and all that is to get us to where we're so easily controlled, because this kind of stuff happens. I can't believe I can't believe, man. I can't believe that Beto got as many votes as he did here in Texas. I mean, he still got beat, but like Abrams and Beto, they're just political losers that they keep throwing up there, and they just keep losing. I mean, Beto O'Rourke lost against Ted Cruz, one of the most not liked politicians in the United States, at a time when he was at the height of being not liked, just after the Cancun vacation thing. I mean, you couldn't get any worse. He lost to that, and then he was talking about running against Trump. And I was like, Why? He couldn't win against literally one of the easiest, when it comes to political opponents at the time, was one of the easiest people to beat, and he couldn't. So I mean, I don't know why they keep putting him out there. I mean, young girls like him, but that's like it. I watched a news video where people were here in Austin, UT, and they were asking, who you vote for? Oh, Beto. What do what political points you like best? Well, I don't really like politics. So you don't know what he's like. No, but I like him, which is why you get people that you get. Also, there was a state assembly that a man was elected and he died. Yes, I know. He was elected. I did, man. There's a tweet by James Woods. He's like, well, you elected a dead guy and someone with a brain dead guy, and congratulations, America. Yeah, all right. Let's get some more happy memes. As I said, this was set up for last week. So, but maybe we can hope. This was true for this week. I always make that joke, man. It's like, well, I could sell a kidney or a nut, and that's it. I got 2 of those. So, and they give you a plastic nut if you sell one. So you still have 2 technically, and you don't know one's not real. It's like a fake diamond. I do like this one. It's fun. Let me see if I'm getting close. I am. The last one to me is so funny because it's really, really weird how accurate it is, and real. Because at first you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, whoa, that's real life, and that's weird. If Dems get the majority in the House, what do you see the next? Dude, it's a meme review. This is Truth Tuesday stuff, but what do you see the next changes will be? 10% of all cops must be trans. 10% of I don't know, man. That see, that's not a real thing. You can't. So you're looking at making a sexual orientation like a race, and that's even the wrong word. It pisses me off people say that, because there's only one race. We're all one race. We're all humans. It's all we're all Homo sapiens. That's the race. But you can't make like an affirmative action for, like, you could say you have to hire so many black people, you have to hire so many, which that's one of the bad things about affirmative action, because it can lower the quality of overall. But if there is a problem with hiring people, if there is if a system works against that, then affirmative action could be good for that. But to make a sexual orientation, that's it's a slippery slope. Like when gay marriage is being talked about, and this is a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Extremists are always right. They always say, hey, if you normalize, this, then then pedophiles are gonna want to be normalized. If you let gay people marry, then people are gonna want to marry their car. People are going to marry, their dog. And everyone's like, no, that's crazy. But it's happened. All of those things are happening because extremists are always going to push the envelope. So that's one thing I think, that whenever you do make certain laws like that, you should kind of put a caveat on in there that only human, you can't can get married, to where that's like off the table. But there are several cases where people want to marry their inanimate objects. People want to marry dead people. People want to marry other animals. And people are pushing for it. And at first it becomes kind of normalized, then it becomes talked about, and then it becomes a thing. But that's still like it's not. It's like a characteristic. It's not. And even your color is a characteristic. Even where your race is a characteristic. But certain things you can't choose. Like you can't choose your color. You can't choose, where you're born. That kind of thing. JDO, you're making this show so serious. I don't think anyone should be given a job. I think you should kind of earn a job. So I think affirmative action just overall is really not good. I mean, you can't argue with it, but then there's a point to be made. No, there's not. There is no fucking point to be made because we made the point earlier on. There didn't need to be that. You don't need to say, hey, you have to hire certain people. The only reason, like I said, to have that is if there's a reason for that, because people aren't hiring those people for that reason. But there's laws against that. So you don't need to make it so everyone has to hire a certain thing or a certain class or something, so that could lower the quality. You have to prosecute those people who are doing wrong. You don't need to say, hey, people aren't hiring enough black people because they're black. Now we have to force everyone to hire a certain number of black people. No, you have to put the people in jail or, fine those companies for doing that illegal practice. You have to punish the wrongdoers. And that's not what we do, because those people who are the wrongdoers, they are also the people who have the money and buy politicians. Nailing it. Thank you, Jim. All right. Okay. So this is the last one coming up. And this one it's funny, but it's so weird when you watch it because it's just odd. Now, this is the metaverse. If metaverse was real life. Even like Rasputin walking by there, and he salutes like an emote. Who's that? That's a dude on a scooter, an aqua scooter. What is that? That's something that is only created in the metaverse. It can't be a real thing. Those people are in wedding attire amongst it all. This literally is what you would see in the metaverse. It's not. And there's some kid just on his own there, Rasputin looking at you all weird. Gives the salute to whoever he's saluting. You got the Queen's card guard there, and there's a bunch of those bike things. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just so weird. That like it is. That's the metaverse, man. If you've ever went like in a like a meetup or something in the metaverse, that's like what you see. It's so weird. All right. So we have one. I'm going to count the Crypto Me review. I'm also going to count the DNA protocol because that came out like right before. I mean, like hours before. So 2, 4, 5 videos. The last are staking. Hope you all commented. Going to give away 5 cake are going to video number 1. Haha. Glad I added the Diona protocol in here.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds. All right. Okay. And filter duplicates, yeah. Oh, did I put this in here? I thought I did. I did. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Let me try it again. Why is this not working? Oh, here we go. 50 comments. There we go. Winner of 5 cake is Hortense Poros. All tokens in the POS chain private sale was finished. Listing on Bitmart now. You people are spamming my videos. I don't know if he's real. I'll give it to him. D4V3 HUD, you have won 5 again, which is really cool. Woohoo! Back to the good stuff. Keep them coming. White paper launch, best kind of launch. This is for Donor Protocol. They did a stealth launch. Hope all of a good one. So you have won D4V HUD, which he gives me so many memes, which is really cool. He won last time. I have your wallet address, so I'll send you another 4K or 5 cake. All right, let's do another spin. Another 5 cake going to video number. Oops, this is last week's crypto review. All right. And we have from last week's crypto meme review. Why is it going so slow? It is weird. Is it done? POS chain. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do another one. They just let me do this again. Okay, so this should be for that one anyway. And we're in a bear season. Tell us something that will save our assets so we can all invest in. Josh Velazoco. Josh Velazoco. You have won 5. Cake. Right on. Oh my god. Rasputin. Yeah, that dude looked like Rasputin, man. Rasputin, some crazy stuff about that guy, man. Sorry, Jim. Make sure that bell's clicked so you get all the notifications. Because that's, YouTube is, right? I've had like hundreds of people watching, and then like 350. I had 1,000, 1,100 once, and on the stream, and then it ended and had 150 views. And then I'll have like 200 likes with 150 views. So YouTube's all, as you so eloquently put, effed up. Well, that is it for today for the Crypto Meme Review. I appreciate everybody coming by. Where is it? I'm going to leave you all with this video. It's so weird.